world, happy Friday. I am almost better. I'm sorry we disappeared off the face of the earth, but had to do it. Couldn't even breathe, couldn't even talk. I'm almost back, so hopefully we'll have more videos about what's going on here coming up soon. So I just wanted to spend just a few seconds going over what I have been up to. I've been cooped up inside this cabin fever majorly, totally understand where the saying comes from now. I've just been crafting. Bianca got me an awesome Christmas present for Christmas, and I've just been messing around with it constantly. It's been a headache and a half, but I'm finally getting somewhere. So here's what I've made. It's kind of just totally unrelated to anything, but it's what I've been up to, and hope you enjoy it. Okay, so this is a CNC mill, and this is what I've been up to. My buddy Ian and his girl Coco just got married on January 1st. Congrats to them. They'll be known soon in the form of a plaque. And this is what I've been carving and designing. Coco and Ian, January 1st, 2018, with a couple on it. I have been failing a lot. I've also been helping my mom over text with her business, trying to get her a logo designed in the form of a stamp. So that's that. It's like just a vintage lamp with her channel name over here, which is Shabby Time Boutique. Shabby Time Boutique there. It's coming along. I'm trying to get it cut out of rubber, but I'm having some issues. Then I've been converting, just kind of playing around really with figuring out how to use it, and converting artwork, and like grayscale artwork, to reliefs. And so here's this one. It's pretty awesome. She definitely looks back at you. It's kind of creepy sometimes. And then I really like that one, so I scaled it up, and I cut it out of, this is walnut. All the white lines, that's coconut oil that I used before I got the correct one in the form of liquid coconut oil. So I got to go back and bake this thing and melt it all off, and then go back in with something else. So here's what I've been up to this week. A giant pile of scrap wood. This is my hobby of choice, honestly, before I got into farming or anything like that, or homesteading. I'm a trained draftsman, a mechanical draftsman, and I work with 3D printers and CNC machines. So I got out of that business quite a long time ago, a few years now anyway. And so now I'm just getting back into it for a hobby, and I do really enjoy it. It's not, I want to say, like the grade of machine I'm used to, but it can still cut some stuff out. Alright, so I just wanted to show my failures. I know maybe that's not the best idea. Maybe you should think that I do it perfectly the first time, but it's definitely not the case. I am human. And it's a learning curve, so failure is a part of creation. Look at all these different ones that I've gone through trying to make this plaque. This one didn't turn out too bad, but it was way too small. Didn't realize until it was too late. And it didn't actually end up printing the date on the side. If you look, you can barely see something there. This one turned out great, but ended up just not liking the quality of it. And the font choice was a big issue. It didn't translate well. Like this first kind of looks weird to me. And the 8... the number 8 looks like 2013, honestly. They haven't been married for 5 years, so... This one was an utter failure. Tried to use a really, really fine detailed tip, and what ended up happening is it just ended up splitting the grain. You can see that there. And then... I actually ran the code like multiple times on this one to get it to cut correctly, because it is bowed. It's lower in this spot than it is on these corners. And so on the first pass, these letters right here didn't show up, and so I had to go back and re-zero it. And then, even on the final one, there's still an error right here. If you look close, that gouge. It's not part of the design, but it exists, and it ain't going away. And I don't feel like recutting it for like a 7th time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece, route the edges, cut it to a nice width first before I route the edges, and then get it off in the mail after I finish it. So yeah, in order to get this, for me, in my first time, I had to go through all this. But it may look daunting, but it's how it goes. Amazing plaque from my good friends Coco and Ian. They just got married. Congrats to them. And I'm gonna use liquid coconut oil here for the finish. It looks really, really nice. Just make sure we don't use too much. Just a little here. A few drips there. I love how it draws itself. It's awesome looking. That's probably good enough. Alright, one more splash. Alright, so now what I do is I take some cheesecloth here, snip off a little square. Man, it's instantaneous. Everything looks better wet, that's what they say, right? Alright, there we go. Now, we wait, and it'll absorb it and look even more amazing. Sweet. Yeah, I also found a couple more like scraps. So here was the prototype of the logo. I used some flooring cutoffs just as a test, you know, because they're just going to be tossed. Let's see, so that was the logo. And then, oh yeah, I was testing just some random artwork and some like Hello Kitty stuff. I don't know if you can tell in that shot, but that's supposed to be a circle. It ended up being an ellipse. That was kind of the first issue I had with this machine that I then had to fix. And then this is kind of a larger version, and that turned out great. And then, you know, I was trying the 3D carving. This one turned out pretty good, actually. This is actually a picture of Coco and Ian. I was considering sending this, but it's just has too many issues, and I'm a perfectionist, so it's going to be scrap. And I think that's it. So, it has been an incredibly creatively productive week for myself. It's been a lot of stress, but, you know, I have to be creative. And when I'm down in the cabin and can't go anywhere, it is a killer. And so I'm really glad that I got something that's just kind of tabletop and I can mess around on my computer with drawings and stuff and make stuff. Oh yeah, so I also was trying to do this. Cutting out of rubber, I was saying it wasn't working too well. So here was my 2 attempts. Totally failed cutting it out. It's in the freezer now because I'm trying to harden it up. Maybe it'll cut better then. Actually, totally forgot. There is something that's homestead related. The floor. Bianca installed the dang floor in the kitchen. It's so exciting. So, I hope you enjoyed this mini update video. It's not much, but that's what I've been up to. I hope you all have a wonderful Friday and a great weekend. Hope the flu season isn't taking you out and that you're just enjoying doing wherever you are. Wherever you are. Have a good evening, everyone.